Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning us in. As you might have heard, over the last several months, we have been working on an effort that we call Back to Basics. While HallKeen does a lot of really great work, occasionally we have issues, and sometimes we get very busy, very distracted, and lose our focus on the basic elements of property management. And over the last 6 months, we've really come to a point where we feel that it's important to revive our focus on back to basics. And Steve Roberts has offered and has been working over the last 6 months on a campaign that we're just about ready to roll out throughout the whole portfolio. So with that introduction, introduce Steve Roberts.
Thank you, Andy. Many of you heard at the company outing about this initiative. When Andy and I decided to go forward with this, we put together a committee that was formed from a cross-section of all sections of the company, including property management, compliance, accounting, and so on. This committee met a couple of times, and with the task of outlining what we see as the basics of property management. The industry has become very complicated, and certainly I don't need to tell all of you that. And in our day-to-day work, it's easy to get caught up in the hundreds of tasks that we need to perform in order to do our jobs. But at the core, the property management business is quite simple. We have one product, which is an apartment, and we sell or rent that apartment. We collect the rent, and we maintain the property. And so those three things really are our business. There are hundreds and hundreds of tasks that go along with those, and it's very easy to get caught up in not focusing on those tasks. For instance, if we have a vacant apartment and we spend a lot of time and money trying to get the phone to ring to rent that apartment, and we have the phone on answering service because we're writing a report as to why we can't rent that apartment, then we are ignoring the basic in lieu of another task. So what we try to focus on in the committee is the essence of the business in those three categories. The committee came up with a list of what they thought were the basics, and then we had a session at HKU with all the property managers and to try to refine that list. That list has now been refined and put into a flyer that Courtney and her marketing staff has put together. It looks like this. And it is attached to the email along with this video. What we will ask property managers to do is to print this flyer with the basics and review it with all staff members. And this really isn't trying to change what we do in our business. It's simply to step back and say, let's make sure that before everything else we are performing the basics well. It's really a matter of focus and priority than anything else. And so we'd like to keep these basics in front of us as this initiative goes forward. And it's our thought that this would be a 6-month to 1 year initiative. Along with that, we will have soon a corner of the Monday Morning News, and that will be a focus on one given basic each week, and that will be written by a practitioner, a manager, a maintenance director, and so on. We think that maybe we can turn that into a fun thing, and it's really simply, again, about focusing on a given basic and a priority as opposed to trying to change what we do on a site. The other thing we hope to do is use the ideas from one site to the next, because every property will approach this a little differently, even though the set of basics are going to be the same. So attached to this email will be the flyer, obviously this video, and an outline of the program as I've just described it. Thank you.
Thanks for your attention and good luck. Take care.